First of all, 9 under par today. Just talk about how good you felt out there on the golf course.
Yeah, I mean, I felt great all week. I felt like I've played okay. The scores just hadn't quite shown it. First round, we kind of got the raw end of the draw and played in a bunch of wind in the afternoon and shot even. And then the second round, I really had it going and ended up shooting 4 and really felt like that was about as bad as I was going to play. And, yeah, I mean, it just feels good to kind of have my best round of the day on a Sunday and good momentum for next week.
Now, you started the day tied for 39th, I believe. You were tied for first for a little while. Did you think you could get there to way to the top?
I mean, I didn't. I thought, a good low round would move me up a lot, maybe get into that top 10, but I felt like those first 5 holes are a little tricky, and then guys can start making birdies after that, which is exactly what I did. And so, yeah, I was a little surprised to see that guys hadn't quite gotten it going yet, but it looks like they're starting to.
Throughout the tournament, as you mentioned, first 5 holes were +4. So let's talk about those holes and what the troubles were with those first 5.
Well, so this year we've had a very different wind than we've had in years past, and I think that's a big part of what makes those holes tough. Usually 1 and 3 are blowing pretty much dead downwind, and right now they're into the wind and just some tricky tee balls those first 5 holes, and if you don't hit the fairway around here, the rough's up, and you're kind of scrambling to make par.
Now, 6 through 12, you were 7 under, so just talk about that run you had there in the middle of the round.
Yeah, it was a great run. The hole just felt big. I had a lot of confidence with the putter, hit some really good shots, kind of exactly how I wanted to into the greens, and so that just builds confidence when you're standing in the fairway. I felt like every iron I had in my hand, I was going to be able to hit it close.
Yeah. So let's talk about this last round and building momentum as you start the tour.
Yeah, it's a great momentum builder. I had my best round of the week last week in Maui on Sunday and did it again this week, so it's nice to play well on Sundays, obviously, and it's a great momentum boost going into the next tournament.
You 2 great weeks to start the year. Was there anything you worked on in the off season that you think sharpened up or allowed you to come out kind of firing?
My goal was to drive it a little bit better this year. I'm not the longest hitter. I'd say I'm average or maybe just below average with distance. And if you're that kind of player off the tee, I feel like you got to hit fairways. And I just didn't feel like I hit quite as many fairways. So last week was hard to gauge because those fairways are 80 yards wide. But I did feel like I drove it well. And this week was a step in the right direction. Had some rounds where I drove it well and some rounds where I didn't. But I feel really confident with my putter. That's always kind of been a strength of mine, and iron play, wedge play has been really good. So I feel like if I can hit the fairways, I'll be in good shape.
I know Friday afternoon you missed a couple short ones down the stretch, and then you struggled early yesterday. Mm-hmm. Was there any frustration at that point? I know you were in 82nd technically on the leaderboard, and now all the way up to first. Like, how did you keep from feeling any frustration?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some frustration. I missed some short ones, which is uncharacteristic. The shortest one I missed was honestly not a terrible putt. I just had to putt it over this kind of mark in the green, and it hopped, and not much I could do. But, yeah, I mean, just tried to reset, tried to, forget about them, remember the ones that I do make, and just kind of get that confidence back. And fortunately, I was able to do that kind of yesterday afternoon.
And on 18 today, you took a wood out of the fairway bunker. What was, kind of the game plan of that and debating? And what club was it?
It was 3-wood. We didn't think we could get it up by the green, but we felt like getting it up there close with it into the wind was going to be an easier pitch to get closer to the pin than it would be a full wedge shot. So that's why we went with that club versus like a 5 or 6 iron to lay up to a full wedge. But, I went through it at the 3M last year. Like, we're not playing to finish second, and we're out here to try and win golf tournaments. And if it meant me absolutely career in a 3-wood out of a bunker to get up there somewhere on the green or around it and chip in, you never know. And so that was kind of the thought process behind it.
I had a twofold question on that matter. Have you ever, in your PGA Tour career, had to not play for second, but play for points instead of playing for the win, so to speak?
Have I ever had to?
Yeah.
I don't know that. No, I mean, I feel like, I think there's a difference, I guess, when you're kind of up there towards the top and playing to win versus when you're in 50th, and you're not going to win, but a good round can go a long ways as far as points and money goes. But anytime I feel like I got a chance to win, I'm playing for the win.
win first, everything else doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I mean,
so kind of to your point, and I realize you're thinking about the next shot and scoring and everything, but how kind of cognizant are you? Where you were today, where someone who just made the cut on the number Friday, how much points matter at the end of the year? Small points.
Yeah, they matter a lot. I mean, I've been on the bad end of that. I think in 2019, I bogeyed the last hole at BMW to miss out on Atlanta. And so I know how valuable the points are. But
points in Palm Springs that can show up in Atlanta, so to speak.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. They all add up the same. And they definitely matter. I think for that reason, you should always be focused on every shot, regardless of where you are on the leaderboard. But again, we're playing to win when we get in that position, and at the end of the day, or at the end of the career, I'm not going to be counting how many second and third place finishes. It's going to be how many wins you got. So,
but isn't it? I mean, wouldn't it be naturally hard for someone who started in 50th place today or 60th not to go through the motions?
I mean, some guys do, but I think that's what separates guys that stay out here for a long time is they know that you're one good round away from turning, 55th is not as great as shooting
into 20th.
Something low and finishing 20th. And the difference in points and money and all that can be a difference maker at the end of the year.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Back there, Buffalo.
Oh. One more. I know you grew up playing a lot with Grayson Murray in North Carolina. What kind of stands out to you about his game and what his competitive edge is? Kind of, right up there on the board this week after coming back from conditional status.
Yeah, I mean, we used to see each other, I guess, at a lot of the junior events in the North and South Carolina area, and he's always been a great player. It sounds like he's got the right mindset, and I think that's maybe is what held him back the most because he's so talented, and I mean, he drives it far, hits it well, hits it straight when he's hitting it good, and obviously can chip and putt it too. So I feel like that shift in mentality for him is probably going to be big, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it done today.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yep. Thank y'all.